Okay, I've got it propped up for the rest of this because it does involve fire. I do have a fire blanket and a fire extinguisher, but I'd rather not use them. I can't see this at all, the screen at all, so I'm hoping this is working for you. Here's the naked tag, same as this one. That one's going on the back mudguard, so this one will have to go on at a right angle to it to attach nicely to the thingy, with the minimum twisting. And I'm going to use what I've been brought up to call a Stanley knife. I realise YouTube's international, so Stanley is a brand name. It's like a dumpster or Hoover, which weirdly enough, English people, we always called them Hoovers, at least we did when I was growing up in the 60s and 70s. And I was astounded to find out it was a brand name, because it sounds like an onomatopoeia, it sounds like the noise that they make. You know? And it wasn't even the Hoover who gave his name to it. He wasn't even the inventor, he was the silent partner, he was the money. So I couldn't tell you the name of the guy who invented it, or refined it, or adapted it, or whatever he did. Okay. This is completely off. Normally the way to help these cuts along is by bending and twisting it, but 25mm core is really difficult to bend and twist, especially when you only got this much to play with. Come on, computer. I think it's coming. Thank you. Oh, didn't want to do that. There's a couple of wires in the process. Never mind, there's plenty more. Right. So that's on the back. This has got to go right angles. It's got to go that way round. For operational reasons. You can probably just see the other end tangling now. I'm just trying to fit. Right. Okay, I've slid that over there. It's got to go that way round. Yeah. Just looking up to the battery. I want to make this as easy to take on and off as possible, because it's an old electric start bike and you do have to take it off and on a lot. So what I'm going to do now is put this back, lightly hold it in the vise. Actually, I'll hold it lengthways. Now what I'm about to talk about is kind of ideal world stuff. And what you're about to see is probably something less. Just checking that you can see it in there. Yep. Oakley dokley, you join me before a roaring fire. Yeah. We have solder. We have a flame. I'm sure this shouldn't be this big. Straight like that. Okay. It's got to be fairly brutal, this flame. Because it's something that I was told quite early on in my life, is that solder travels towards heat. It's attracted by heat. You can't put it onto something cold and expect it to melt, it won't happen, but as long as it's warm enough to sort of let it go a bit, it should travel towards the hottest part. So ideally I want to apply the solder in there. The way that you know that that it's hot enough there to start applying solder, unfortunately, is because the insulation starts melting. I've done this once. I used to do it all the time, but I've done this once recently. I'm trying to remember how much bloody heat I used. I know it was quite a lot. We're well ventilated at the moment. All the doors are open, and the windows, no, all the windows are open. One of the doors is open. Let's see if we can get anything at all in there. Just test it further along. Yeah, that's already getting hot enough. So So that's in. Oh yeah, we're melting. We're melting into this bit. Just pull back a bit. Lost a bit of solder there. The idea is just chuck loads of solder into that bit and hope that it draws it up into the wires inside. I tried clamping one of these on using the vise, and it's not really a clamp thing. It's got to be a solder thing, because when you clamp it on, it just falls off. It won't hold on at all. So I'm still feeding the solder into this gap. Oh, it's starting to not melt very well. So you do need quite a bit of juice on this. Just fill it the hell full of solder. Solder's like wire cement. It's really not that bloody hot anymore. Come on, come on, come on. Even though these tags look silvery, they are made of copper. I think the silver might be some kind of coating. Okay, there's loads up there. I'm going to chuck some down in here as well. There's a hole here. Oh yeah, it loves that. It's gobbling it up. Oh, right, let's stop being hot again. I'm never sure exactly when enough has been applied. But I do know you can burn your tongue, pull it using your teeth to pull more solder out. Write that one down. Also, I know I've got very, very shaky hands. Ah, Nickers, this is getting really boring. Right, we'll just fill that hole up as much as we can. I've turned him over because on this side you can see a definite join with lots of copper, and it hasn't soaked through, so I want to get loads of it into there. Oh yeah, it's going now. Absolutely bloody tons of it, just feed it all in there. Okay, I'm happy with that. And down here is little bits of solder that's dropped. As you can see, we haven't lost much. Those little round bits, my dad introduced them to me when I was very small, and they're called Tinker's fleas. At least they are where I come from. There it is, custom-made earth strap, exactly the right dimensions, exactly the right length, and exactly the right angles and everything to fit your motorcycle. And it's probably a lot easier than I'm making it out to be. I'm quite ham-fisted, but there you go.